Oi, oi, all right, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you, and this is Doodle Review, the channel where we review and talk about music in almost every genre. At least I'm doing my hardest to get across as many genres as possible. But on Sundays we talk about jazz. This is the fourth entry in our Sunday Jazz Club, and today we're talking about one of the newest entries in a long-running series called Jazz is Dead. Jazz is Dead is a series of albums written, produced, and performed by the artists Adrian Younge and Ali Shaheed Muhammad. They operate as kind of the house band of this project, with then every volume featuring a central guest whose skill and specialism within a certain style or instrument become the focal point of that album. The series has shone a spotlight on jazz stars as well as lesser known artists, and we've seen players such as Roy Ayers, Tony Allen, and the Brazilian collective Azimuth take centre stage over the years. If you're a jazz fan, you have to dive into this series. Just get in there and treat yourself to hours and hours of great jazz music and get turned on to some great artists you may never have heard of or heard a lot about but never got around to. If you have been following my reviews for a while, you may know that I've been a keen collector of this series for some time now, reviewing almost every album entry brought out by the combo of Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Adrian Younge, and their rotating list of legendary guest artists over the years. 3 years or so they've been releasing these albums. Given the quality of the core musicians on these records, as well as the amazing names they pull in to collaborate, it's rare that I ever say anything other than how fantastic they are. But volumes 12 and 17, two entries in the series that put vocals front and centre, were the only notable exceptions. Singing, scatting and vocalising is just something I'm not that keen on when it comes to jazz, and these two records are loaded with it. Volume 19 then, this one, a collection of instrumental versions of the songs from both of those previous releases, kind of feels like a gift just for me. I prepared to review this set by actually listening to the vocal and the instrumental tracks back to back, which was a really interesting experience as it forced me to, I guess, finally confront and understand exactly what it is I don't like about jazz vocals. And it all hit me when I was listening to the original version of Love Can Be from Jazz is Dead 17 with vocals by Lauren Oden. A singer with a great voice, no doubt about it, but it proved to be an example of how combining the kind of voice as an instrument and discipline of improvisation just adds a layer to a jazz piece that I just find distracting and, to be honest, grating. It normally results in really long, loud vocal phrasings that command the entire mix, with repetitive lyrics formed straight off the top of the dome that are rarely great. I totally understand that this reflects the free expression we hear through other instruments in jazz, but it just rarely wins me over, and it's great to be able to articulate this finally, because being a passionate lover of almost all music, I rarely ever just flat out don't like something without a clear explanation, and to have felt like that towards jazz vocals has felt kind of unfair and a bit disrespectful. So based on this, I do find every track here on volume 19 an improvement over their vocal featuring counterparts, but it doesn't mean that the album is actually a straight home run. Another revelation I had upon reviewing these slightly sparser vocal arrangements is the confirmation of something I've only partially acknowledged across the most recent albums in this series: the ever so slightly tired sounding house production style. There's a certain combination of oversaturated wah guitars and organ that has become a trope on these records that is actually laid quite bare on songs like My Mystic Life, but ultimately dotted everywhere on the collection. The Jazz is Dead series is all about featuring artists, so it's actually rare there isn't a central instrument taking centre stage, even on the intentionally instrumental songs, which is why it becomes more notable on this one, volume 19. All that aside, this is still an enjoyable listen, and as I said, to me a superior listen to the previously released versions, and I feel really pleased that we get to hear tracks like The Summertime and Black Rainbows, which are both fantastic pieces in this form. This is a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Thanks for listening to me chat fraff about the record. If you've enjoyed this, do let me know. I'd love to keep doing this and dedicating time to these reviews, and kind of every comment and every subscription is literally the fuel I need to keep going. So do consider doing one or both of those things. Share some thoughts, show some love, or just hurl some abuse in the comments. There are some other videos linked in the description below that you might like. Cheers, mate. Bye.